Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This video is just going to be a quick tip video on how to joint super big boards without a full-size joiner. Now I'm working on a live edge dining tabletop right now that's going to be 42 inches wide, and it's broken up into 3 pieces. Live edge will be on the outside, and then there's a middle piece to get that width because my customer doesn't have $8,000 to spend on a dining table, so we got to make it in sections. But I don't have a joiner to make sure that those seams are nice and clean and tight during the glue up. So stick around, I'm gonna show you how I get it done. Alright y'all, so here are 2 of the boards that are making up the dining tabletop. I have the middle section, one of the outside sections, and there'll be another section on the other side. So live edge will be on both sides, but when I made the initial cuts on their width, these are pretty square edges, but when you join them together, there's big gaps throughout. So I don't have a full-size joiner, and I'm just gonna use my track saw to solve this problem. So let's set it up and get this thing fixed. So setup is gonna be super easy. I have this 1-inch foam pad underneath. That's just to save my workbench. That way I can cut all the way through this. As you can see, I've made a bunch of cuts on this. It works great, super cheap. So I'm gonna take this long track. If you have a track saw and you don't have a long track, I highly recommend you get one or get 2 smaller tracks and get the connectors. I know the Festool and the DeWalt ones, I'm pretty sure those connectors work together. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this up, the rubber cut edge, right on the seam edge of one of the boards. So I'm gonna reference the middle board, and I'm gonna get this lined up all the way down. Then I'm going to use some of the track clamps to hold that into place, making sure that it's right on the seam all the way down. If it's slightly off the seam, that's okay. You just want it as close to the seam as possible. Clamp that down, that doesn't move. Now I want to get these 2 boards as close together as possible. So I think that's going to be about as good as I can get. And the other board, I'm just going to give some light clamping pressure down to the bench. That way it doesn't move on me in the middle of making this cut. But I don't want to torque down on it too much because I don't want to clamp it like in too much and make it lean either way. So just a little bit of clamping pressure on the second board. This is good to go. I'm gonna throw some Ear Pro on and make this cut. Now with the track saw, I've noticed I've got the DeWalt cordless. I got to make it in a few passes, so I usually do 2 or 3 passes in hardwood. This is maple, so 2 or 3 passes get you a nice clean edge. If you try to do it in one, the blade deflects a little bit and it doesn't end up being as clean. So I'm going to make this cut. So there's the first cut. I think I'm going to need to make a second one just because this board seemed to kind of bow out a little bit and it was further away on the edges, so I actually didn't get to touch it at all. That's looking way better. Yep, now this edge is tight in the middle, a little bit of a gap on the end. So I'm just going to do it one more time, same thing, clamping the other board slightly down after it's butted up as close to the track as possible. Same thing on the other end. And we'll make the cuts. Take this out of the clamp, see what we're working with. Brush out any of the sawdust and fit it back. Yep, that's sweet right there. All right, so we got this thing out of clamps. Seam's looking nice. So now, geez, Murphy, try to get this thing all level. So now I just got to do the glue up. I'm gonna use Domino's to help with alignment on this because it's such a big top. You could use a biscuit joiner too, that's more common. If you're gonna use a biscuit joiner, I would put 2 rows in on a thicker top just to help because biscuits aren't super strong. But that's it, down and dirty, how I joint huge boards with a track saw. Track saw is a good tool. If you've been thinking about getting one, I'd say save up for it and get it because it's a sweet tool. You can get the different track lengths as well. I like the DeWalt one. It's not perfect, but I do like it. And cordless, if you got cordless too, that's sweet. But thank you guys as always for watching. That's gonna be it for this one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and if you are subscribed, hit that bell. That way you know when my new videos come out, because if you don't hit that bell, you're not gonna get any notification that I have a new video, and you could come back in like a month and I could have 5 videos. Probably only 1 though, so. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks again.